The Galactic Confederation's survey ship entered Earth's atmosphere on a quiet Tuesday morning. Commander Kiro stood at the viewport, watching blue oceans and green continents grow larger as they descended. His species had charted thousands of worlds, but Earth had been flagged as particularly rich in biodiversity. "Final scans complete, Commander," reported Officer Lena, her scaled fingers moving across the control panel. "Only wildlife detected. No technological civilization present." Kiro nodded, satisfied. "Excellent. Set us down in that isolated region." He pointed to a densely forested area far from any human settlements. "We'll establish our research base there." The ship landed in a clearing within Surak National Park in South Korea. The aliens deployed their equipment efficiently, setting up temporary structures and research stations. Their sleek silver bodies moved with practiced precision as they began cataloging local species. Park Ranger Kim Ji-woo was patrolling the eastern trail when she spotted unusual lights through the trees. She had worked in these mountains for 7 years and knew every trail and clearing. This light was wrong. Too steady for a campfire, too bright for hikers' lanterns. "Control, this is Ji-woo. I'm investigating unusual activity in Sector 4, she reported into her radio. "Copy that. Be careful," came the response from her supervisor. Ji-woo approached cautiously, her hand resting on her tranquilizer gun. The forest had gone strangely quiet. No birds sang, no insects chirped. As she crested a small hill, she stopped dead in her tracks. Below her was a clearing that shouldn't exist. The trees had somehow been removed without stumps or debris. In their place stood metallic structures unlike anything she had ever seen. And moving among them were beings that were clearly not human. Ji-woo dropped to her stomach, crawling behind a fallen log. Her heart pounded in her chest as she watched silver-skinned creatures with 4 arms working around what appeared to be a spacecraft. They moved with purpose, setting up equipment and taking samples from the surrounding forest. "This can't be happening," she whispered to herself. Her radio crackled. "Ji-woo, report status." One of the aliens turned its oblong head toward the sound. Ji-woo quickly switched off her radio, holding her breath. The alien stared in her direction for a long moment, then turned away, seemingly uninterested. Strange, she thought. It should have spotted her. Just then, her colleague Lee Tom-min appeared on the trail below. He had clearly come to check on her after she failed to respond to radio calls. Ji-woo wanted to shout a warning. But before she could, something extraordinary happened. Tom-min walked directly into the clearing, and the aliens barely reacted. One briefly glanced at him before returning to its work. Another moved past him, as if he were nothing more than a tree or rock. Tai-min stood frozen in shock, staring at the aliens and their ship. They don't see him, Ji-woo realized. At least, not as a person. She watched as an alien approached Ta-min with what looked like a scanner. It waved the device over him, then made notes on a tablet-like object. The alien spoke in a series of clicks and whistles to its companion, who responded with similar sounds. The second alien offered Ta-min what appeared to be a small fruit, as if feeding an interesting animal. Ta-min backed away slowly, then turned and ran. The aliens watched him go with the casual interest one might show a deer bounding through the forest. Ji-woo remained hidden until nightfall, observing the aliens' behavior. They collected plant samples, captured insects, and even set up what appeared to be automated recording devices aimed at animal trails. Not once did they treat any human they encountered differently from the local wildlife. When darkness fell, Ji-woo carefully retreated to her ranger station. Her hand shook as she tried to make sense of what she had seen. Tai-min was already there, pacing anxiously. "Did you see them?" he asked when she entered. "Aliens, real aliens, and they treated me like I was some kind of interesting monkey." "I know," Ji-woo said, keeping her voice steady despite her racing mind. "I think their technology doesn't recognize us as intelligent." "How is that possible?" Ta Min asked. Ji Woo shook her head. I don't know. But I do know we need to be careful. If they see Earth as just a nature preserve with no intelligent life, there's no telling what they might do next. She picked up her phone. We need to contact someone who can help us understand these beings, and we need to do it without alerting them. As she dialed, Ji Woo looked out the window toward the forest where the aliens were setting up camp. For the first time in human history, Earth had visitors from another world, and somehow, impossibly, they had missed the dominant species entirely. 3 days after the aliens arrived, Ji Woo sat in Professor Park Sun-ho's cluttered university office. A small group had gathered around his desk, where satellite images of the alien base were spread out. So they really don't recognize humans as intelligent? Asked Min Ki, a local police officer Ji Woo had trusted with the secret. It appears that way, Professor Park said, adjusting his glasses. We managed to secretly scan one of their devices when an alien set it down near our observation post. The results are fascinating. He turned his laptop around to show them complex wave patterns. Human brainwaves operate on a unique quantum frequency. Their scanners register this as background radiation, basically noise. Like how we might not hear a dog whistle? Ji Woo asked. Exactly, nodded the professor. To them, we're just another animal species. Kang Hyun-soo, a former military specialist who had joined their group, leaned forward. This gives us an advantage. We can observe them without them realizing who we really are. Over the next week, they established a hidden observation network around the alien base. Cameras disguised as rocks and birds' nests recorded alien activities. The team took turns watching from carefully selected hiding spots. What they discovered was both fascinating and alarming. They're documenting Earth species, Ji Woo reported during their evening meeting. Today they spent hours studying a raven colony. They seemed excited about how the birds use tools. I observed them testing dolphin communication patterns, added Hyun-soo. They have underwater drones collecting data. Professor Park compiled their observations. It appears they're categorizing Earth species based on intelligence potential. They've marked certain animals as candidates for something. Candidates for what? Asked Min Ki. I believe they plan to uplift certain species, accelerate their evolution toward higher intelligence, the professor explained. They've already set up what looks like experimental stations near elephant herds in Africa and dolphin pods in the Pacific, while completely overlooking that there's already an intelligent species here, Ji Woo said with a shake of her head. Their most startling discovery came when Hyun-soo managed to capture alien communications, and the professor began decoding them. They're calling Earth a pristine wildlife preserve, he translated. They're planning conservation zones across the planet to protect what they call promising species. Conservation zones, where humans live? Min Ki asked, alarmed. Exactly. They don't consider human cities any different from beaver dams or termite mounds, just habitats built by clever animals. The next day, Ji Woo had her closest encounter yet. While observing the aliens from a blind, one approached her hiding spot. She froze as the tall, silver-skinned being stopped just meters away. The alien looked directly at her, its large eyes blinking slowly. It made a series of clicking sounds, then reached into a pouch and pulled out what appeared to be a fruit. It placed the fruit on the ground before her, then stepped back. Ji Woo realized with a start, it was feeding her, like a tourist might feed a squirrel in a park. Cautiously, she reached for the fruit. The alien made excited clicking sounds, as if pleased by her response. It took notes on a small device, then moved on. When she returned to their makeshift headquarters, she found the others in heated debate. We should reveal ourselves, Min Ki argued, before they start relocating humans for their conservation projects. Not yet, countered Hyun-soo. We need more information. If they're advanced enough for interstellar travel, they could have weapons we can't imagine. Professor Park studied the fruit Ji Woo had brought back. This is fascinating. They're already interacting with humans, as if we're subjects in their wildlife study. What if we use that? Ji-woo suggested suddenly. What if we let them believe we're just animals, but start demonstrating unusual intelligence? A controlled revelation, the professor said thoughtfully. We could shape their perception of us. That night, they watched as aliens set up new equipment near a small mountain village. Satellite imagery showed similar installations appearing across the globe. They're moving fast, Hyun-soo noted grimly. Whatever they're planning, it's happening soon. Ji-woo stared at the images, a plan forming in her mind. Tomorrow, I'm going to try something. If they think we're just clever animals, let's show them just how clever we can be. As she looked out toward the alien base glowing in the distance, a strange mix of fear and excitement filled her. Humanity's first contact was happening in the most unexpected way possible, with humans hiding in plain sight while aliens studied Earth's wildlife, completely unaware that the planet's dominant species was watching them right back. Hyun-soo burst into the team's hidden observation post, his face tense with urgency. He slapped a tablet on the table, showing aerial photos of a large clearing being made by alien machinery less than 10 kilometers away. They're building something big, he said, pointing to the images, right where Songgo village stands. Ji-woo and Professor Park leaned closer to examine the plans Hyun-soo had managed to copy from an alien data terminal. This is a full research base, Professor Park said, his voice grave. According to these schematics, they plan to relocate everything in that area. Relocate? Ji-woo asked. You mean the people? To them, there's no difference between moving a human settlement and moving a beaver dam, the professor explained. They'll simply tranquilize the villagers and move them somewhere else, like wildlife conservationists might do with endangered animals. The team fell silent, the gravity of the situation weighing on them. Over the past 2 weeks, they had watched the aliens establish monitoring stations across the region. Government agencies worldwide were struggling to contain panic as alien sightings increased globally. We need to act now, Ji-woo said firmly. We can't let them start treating humans like animals to be relocated. They developed a plan. Rather than revealing humanity's full technological capabilities, which might provoke a hostile response, they would stage a controlled demonstration of intelligence. The next morning, Ji-woo and Min-ki carefully placed a series of objects near a frequently used alien path. They arranged stones in perfect geometric patterns, circles, triangles, and squares. Beside these, they left simple mathematical equations written in the dirt. From their hiding place, they watched as 2 aliens discovered their handiwork. The beings stopped, clearly intrigued. One made excited clicking sounds as it scanned the patterns. The aliens spent nearly an hour studying the arrangements before collecting samples and taking recordings. Encouraged by this reaction, the team escalated their plan. Each day, they left more complex demonstrations, simple machines, basic electronics, and finally, a primitive communication device that displayed changing light patterns. They think we're some kind of specially evolved primates, Professor Park noted after analyzing alien communications. They're calling us enhanced wildlife in their reports. At least they're starting to recognize intelligence, Ji-woo said. The alien response to these discoveries was swift. They began setting up observation posts specifically to monitor human activities. Special scanning equipment was deployed near towns and villages. Their interest in humans had clearly shifted from casual observation to focused study. The situation reached a critical point when aliens entered Songgo village with tranquilizer devices, preparing to relocate the residents. Choi Yu-jin, the 76-year-old village elder, stood defiantly in the village square as silver-skinned beings approached his neighbors with scanning devices. No, he shouted, waving his cane at them. This is our home. You cannot take us. The aliens responded with soothing tones, as if calming a frightened animal. One reached out to pat Yu-jin's head. Ji-woo and Hyun-soo watched in horror from their hiding place at the edge of the village. We need to intervene, Ji-woo whispered. Hyun-soo nodded grimly. Time for the next phase. They activated their emergency plan. Team members positioned throughout the village began using small devices that emitted specific frequencies designed to attract alien attention. Then, following the protocol they had established, they began demonstrating tool use and communication systems far more advanced than what they had previously revealed. The aliens froze, their attention completely captured by this sudden display of coordinated intelligence from what they had considered simple wildlife. Jae-woo stepped into the open, carrying a simple drawing board. On it, she had sketched images of the aliens, humans, and a question mark between them. She approached the alien who seemed to be in charge and held up the board. The alien studied the images, its large eyes blinking rapidly. It made a series of clicks and whistles to its companions, who gathered around. They're reassessing. Professor Park's voice came through Ji-woo's hidden earpiece, but they still don't understand we're the dominant species. The lead alien reached into a pouch and produced a small device. It activated a holographic display, showing images of various Earth animals, with humans categorized alongside chimpanzees and dolphins. Jae-woo shook her head and pointed to the human image, then gestured to the village with its buildings, roads, and technology. The alien tilted its head, clearly confused. It made more clicking sounds, then produced another device. This one projected an image of what appeared to be another alien species, clearly advanced but different from the visitors. I think, Professor Park whispered in Ji-woo's ear, they believe we were created or enhanced by some other alien species. They don't believe we evolved this intelligence naturally. Jae-woo realized they were at a breaking point. The aliens weren't understanding, and soon more would arrive to begin the relocation process. Their charade was failing. We need to take the next step, she whispered back. Contact the others. It's time to show them who really runs this planet. 4 days after the confrontation in Songho village, Ji-woo sat across from an alien commander in a specially prepared meeting room. The aliens had agreed to formal talks with what they now referred to as the enhanced primates of Earth. Her team had carefully orchestrated this meeting, still maintaining the pretense that humans were simply unusually intelligent animals. Professor Park had created translation devices based on the alien language patterns they had recorded. Ji-woo wore a small earpiece that converted the aliens' clicks and whistles into Korean. We appreciate your interest in our species, Ji-woo said carefully, using simple gestures along with her words. The aliens had been fascinated by human spoken language, which they were still trying to decipher. Commander Raiko, as they had learned to call him, responded with a series of clicks that her earpiece translated. Your development is remarkable. Which visitors enhanced your cognitive abilities? Jae-woo exchanged glances with Hyun-soo, who sat beside her. They had prepared for this question. The aliens still believe humans must have been uplifted by some other advanced species. We evolved naturally on Earth, Ji-woo replied, using the simplified communication method they had established. The alien made a gesture they had come to recognize as skepticism. Impossible. Your brain patterns show no signs of complex thought. Yet you create tools and understand basic concepts. Hyun-soo carefully placed a simple electronic device on the table between them, one they had built specifically for this demonstration. It displayed mathematical equations of increasing complexity. We understand more than basic concepts, he said. The alien commander studied the device with obvious interest. 2 other aliens entered the room, carrying scanning equipment. They had been granted permission to bring these tools into the meeting. Suddenly, Ji-woo's real phone vibrated in her pocket. She wasn't supposed to have it with her. The team had agreed to use only the simplified devices they had revealed to the aliens. She discreetly checked the message. It was from the National Emergency Alert System. URGNT. Massive solar flare detected. Impact expected in 42 minutes. Seek shelter immediately. Jae-woo's eyes widened. She showed the message to Hyun-soo, whose expression immediately turned grave. What's happening? Professor Park asked through their hidden communication system. Solar flare, Hyun-soo whispered. Class X. The kind that could fry electronics and cause radiation poisoning. The aliens were still focused on their scanning equipment, unaware of the humans' concern. Professor Park's voice came urgently through their earpieces. The alien ship has minimal shielding against solar radiation. Our satellites show they've positioned most of their technology on the surface. They don't know what's coming. Jae-woo made a quick decision. We need to warn them. This changes everything. She stood up, startling the aliens. Without using the simplified communication they had established, she spoke directly to Commander Reiko. Your equipment is in danger. A massive solar flare will hit Earth in less than 40 minutes. Your technology on the surface will be damaged or destroyed. The alien tilted its head, clearly confused by her sudden change in behavior. Jae-woo pulled out her actual phone and showed them the emergency alert. Then she activated its connection to the global network, displaying real-time solar observatory data. The aliens watched in apparent confusion as she operated technology far more advanced than what they believed enhanced animals should possess. You need to retrieve your equipment and seek shelter, Hyun-soo added, also dropping the charade. Or move your ship to the dark side of the moon until the flare passes. Commander Reiko made rapid clicking sounds to the other aliens, who responded with evident alarm as they examined the solar data on Ji-woo's phone. One of them activated a communication device, speaking urgently to their base. The response seemed to confirm the humans' warning. Then something unexpected happened all around the world. In major cities, hidden technology began to emerge. Massive shield generators rose from underground bunkers. Satellite arrays pivoted to face the incoming solar storm. On screens worldwide, emergency broadcasts announced the activation of Earth's planetary defense system. Through the window of their meeting room, Ji-woo and the aliens watched as a shimmering dome of energy began to form in the sky above them. What is this? Commander Reiko asked, all pretense of treating humans as animals now gone from his tone. This is human technology, Ji-woo explained simply. Our planetary defense grid. It will protect all life on Earth from the solar radiation, including your people. The aliens stood in stunned silence as the energy shield fully deployed, creating a protective barrier around the entire planet. Commander Reiko turned to face Ji-woo, his large eyes fixed on her with new understanding. You are not enhanced animals, he said slowly through the translator. You are the dominant technological species of this planet. Jae-woo nodded. We are humans, and we've been watching you as carefully as you've been watching us. The alien commander made a gesture they had never seen before, something that looked remarkably like respect. Why did you hide your true nature from us? He asked. Because, Hyun-soo replied. Sometimes it's wise to observe before revealing yourself to visitors who don't recognize you exist. 6 months after the solar flare incident, Ji-woo stood on the observation deck of the Galactic Confederation's diplomatic vessel. Earth looked beautiful from orbit. Blue oceans, white clouds, and green continents spinning slowly below. Beside her stood Commander Reiko, now Earth's primary contact with the alien government. The Council is ready to receive you, he said, his translator now perfectly converting his clicks and whistles into clear Korean. Jae-woo nodded, straightening the formal diplomatic uniform she wore as Earth's first ambassador to the stars. I'm ready. The council chamber was a vast, circular room with representatives from 27 different species seated in tiered rows. At the center stood Chief Scientist Bomi, the Confederation's leading expert on new species. Honored council members, Bomi began, I present our findings on human intelligence. A holographic display appeared above the chamber floor, showing complex patterns of neural energy. Human consciousness operates through quantum neural entanglement, she explained. Their minds exist partially outside standard detection parameters. This is why our initial scans classified them as non-sentient wildlife. The council chamber filled with murmurs, and the various sounds of different species expressing surprise. In simple terms, Bomi continued, humans think in a way no other known species does. Their brains process information in patterns our science previously considered impossible. An elder council member leaned forward. Is this natural evolution or artificial enhancement? Completely natural, Bomi confirmed. Humans evolved this trait over millions of years, likely as an adaptation to their planet's unique electromagnetic field. Jaiwu listened with fascination as the aliens discussed human consciousness as if it were the most extraordinary thing they had ever encountered. This explains their remarkable abilities, Bomi added. Humans make intuitive leaps that our most advanced prediction algorithms cannot match. They see connections between seemingly unrelated concepts. They create art that evokes emotional responses across species barriers. And their technology? Asked another council member. Advanced in unexpected ways, Bomi replied. While their space travel capabilities are still developing, their quantum information systems, creative artificial intelligence, and energy manipulation far exceed expectations for their development stage. Jaiwu stepped forward when invited to speak. For centuries, humans looked to the stars wondering if we were alone, she said. We imagined many ways first contact might happen. None of us expected to be invisible to those who came looking. This brought a ripple of sounds that the translator identified as laughter from several species. Yet this misunderstanding has taught us something valuable, Jaiwu continued. Intelligence comes in many forms. Some may be invisible if we only look through familiar lenses. After the council session, Earth was formally invited to join the Galactic Confederation with a special research status. Human scientists would work alongside alien researchers to explore the unique properties of human consciousness. Back on Earth, the revelation of alien contact had transformed human society. Nations that had previously been in conflict now worked together to prepare Earth for its new role in the galactic community. Professor Park led the newly established Interspecies Research Center, where human and alien scientists studied the quantum properties of different forms of consciousness. The most fascinating discovery, he explained to Jaiwu during her visit home, is that human children register more strongly on alien scanners than adults do. As our brains mature, our quantum patterns become more complex and less detectable to conventional technology. So we literally think outside the box, Jaiwu smiled. Exactly. And it turns out this gives us abilities the Confederation considers almost magical. Our intuition, creativity, and emotional intelligence are rare gifts in the galaxy. On her last day before returning to her diplomatic post, Jaiwu visited Songo Village. The small community had become famous as the site of first contact, and Choi Yu-jin had become something of a celebrity for standing up to aliens with nothing but his cane. Did you ever imagine we would matter so much to beings from other worlds? The old man asked as they shared tea. No, Jaiwu admitted, but I'm glad we do. That evening, she sat on her childhood mountain, watching the stars appear one by one. Among them now were the lights of alien ships, visitors coming to learn from humans just as humans learned from them. Her communicator buzzed with a message from Commander Reiko. The Council has approved your proposal. The Human Consciousness Research Initiative begins next month. Jaiwu smiled. Humanity had gone from being invisible to becoming one of the most studied species in the galaxy. Their unique minds, once overlooked as background noise, were now recognized as holding secrets that might transform understanding throughout the stars. What had begun as a case of mistaken identity had become one of the greatest opportunities in human history, all because aliens had scanned the planet and seen only wildlife, completely missing the power hidden in plain sight.